What's going on, everybody? This is Jose Betancourt. So, I want to talk about my traumatic brain injury. It's been a year. Actually, it's been a little over a year. In September marked a year that I've been out of work. I've been out of work on workers' compensation. I've been dealing with a traumatic brain injury. Now, because I'm a big dude and because I walk around with a hat and sunglasses and of course a mask because of, everyone has to wear a mask, it is really tough for people to see that there's something off with me, especially because I've always had like an even keel type of personality. So whether I'm sad or happy or whatever, I kind of look the same, you know, unless I'm eating lasagna. But so those that know me and those that don't know me, it's really tough for people to pick up what I'm going through. So with a traumatic brain injury, especially for me because I didn't have any scars, people really, I felt, well, this is all in my head, okay? I felt like nobody believed me. To this day, I still find it where I still feel like people don't take what's going on seriously. Now, that's all in my head. But especially for the first year. Now, I don't remember a lot of that first year. Like, especially the first maybe 7 months after my injury. It's really tough. I remember bits and pieces, but I don't remember like everything that happened. And that's the problem. Like, my memory is still shot. Not my long term, but like, I feel personally like everything that happened before my injury, I still remember very clearly, but from the impact of, from the moment of impact to this day, there's certain things I don't remember anymore. So I'm trying to figure out like when that threshold, like what's my threshold, my memory threshold. How long does it take me to forget stuff or remember stuff? So I'm dealing with that. Of course, I'm still dealing with the headaches, the light issue. Bright light messes me up. Memory, train of thought, as you just witnessed right now. Emotion. So I am seeing a therapist for vision, behavior. She doesn't call herself a psychiatrist, but she, we talk once a week, virtually through the phone, like a FaceTime thing. And it helps. It really does. It helps to hear a different voice, trying to advise you and trying to help you break down what's bothering you. And the one thing that really sticks with me is when she told me, stop thinking about the past and stop thinking too far ahead because that's not going to help you. Think about the present and worry about what your next step is going to be as it happens. Stop thinking too far back and too far forward. And so I've been really trying to do that. Now, the thing about having a traumatic brain injury is you're dealing with different types of, and bear with me, folks, you're dealing with different types of symptoms. So for me, it's fatigue. I have fatigue really easy. Memory. If I'm doing too much stuff and I'm overloading myself, my brain will shut down and I have to go and take a nap. Motivation. Like, I literally sat for 2 hours in front of my microphone today to record this. Motivation. Like, there's a part of my brain that tells me, come on, let's go, let's do, that's how I am normally. I always want to try something new. That's why I got into podcasting, doing videos, doing photography. There's still that part of me in my head, like yelling, yo, let's go, let's do something. And then there's the fogginess of, how do I do this? Why should I do this? And it's not that I feel lazy. It's just I'm trying to think of the word. It's just taking that first step, I guess. Like taking that first step is so difficult, and it shouldn't be. Like taking the first step to get out of bed, to do a recording, to do a video. I haven't done a video in quite some time, like a video review, and I want to do those, but I just can't. It's like something holding me back. I just can't do it for some reason. Same thing with my photography. Like I look out, I'm like, oh my God, it's fall and the leaves are falling. There'll be a nice picture. There's still a part of me that looks at everything in a photographer with a photographer's eye, where I'm composing stuff in my head. And I'm like, that would be a nice picture, but I'm not doing it as often. And I did carry my camera a few weeks ago. Actually, last week, I had to go see a doctor for the insurance who's paying me my workers' comp. I had to take the train to Brooklyn for the first time in a long time. That was a freaking challenge. And then I had to do this, appointment and go through all these different little tests she wanted me to do. And then I was like, and it was kind of foggy, and there was tall buildings in this part of Brooklyn, and I was like, all right, I got my camera. I got my Fuji X Pro 1 with me. I'm going to take some photos. And I had to rush back home. Like, I had to come home right afterwards. I was kind of in a panic. Like, it was unusual. It was really weird. I was kind of like in some type of anxiety. I was getting some type of anxiety, not an attack, but number one, I got dizzy because of the testing, and I was off as soon as she put light in front of my eye, and my perception was like screwed up, and then once in a while I would look while the train was moving. I would look up at the window and I would see the walls of the tunnels moving fast. So it threw me off, and it just destroyed my plans for walking around and taking photos. I even thought of going to Central Park and taking photos. All of that just went out the window. So I'm still dealing with a huge challenge. And of course, when I think about this and I think about the possibility of not continuing my career as an elevator technician, it really brings me down. So the reason why I'm doing this particular audio, I plan to do more like this, and I'm doing it in hopes that I can help people who are going through what I'm going through. And there are plenty of us out there. And the one thing that I have noticed when I've watched videos or listened to audio of people with a traumatic brain injury is that we all feel like we're alone. We feel like no one believes us, that it's something, that the things that we are going through are just in our heads, and we need to like grow up and get over it. That's something that I thought was just me. And then I managed to watch some videos and see that people felt the same way. There were other people who felt the same way. Like the photophobia, the the vision. During therapy last week, there was a guy doing vision therapy, and he said, I feel like throwing up. That's exactly how I feel sometimes. So I'm not alone. And neither are you if you're listening to this. And hopefully this audio can be a way for people like me or people like you who are going through this to interact and help each other. Because there are things that even though I've been going through this for a year, there are things I'm still dealing with, specifically with accepting the fact that I have to adjust my life, adjust my hobbies, relearn the most basic things. One of them is speech. And I've been doing more podcasts, for those of you who have noticed, so I can stop slurring my speech. Sometimes it'll slip, but I've been working really hard to try to improve my speech. It was really frustrating slurring. It was frustrating losing thought as I was trying to speak. I still do it. I still jump topics. I still will talk and then all of a sudden start talking about something else and then not realize it until I edit. And then in my, like I'm talking out loud, like, dude, what the hell are you thinking? And then the thing is, I really wasn't. So there are things I'm still trying to do for myself, self-rehabilitate. Fortunately, I'm very fortunate that I am an experienced podcaster. I've been doing it over 15 years, whatever. So this is a hobby that I can still do that actually benefits me in my quest to become functional again in the real world. So my wife advised me that I should try this. I should use my skill set as a podcaster, my experience as a podcaster, as a content creator, to reach out to other people with TBI and try to create something that will help them and will help me as well. We can feed off each other, help each other out, have something that a central hub where we can share our stories, share what type of therapy we're going through, because I don't know everything. I'm even considering permanent disability, and that's something I don't even like saying because I am not ready for that. But I do have a disability and it sucks. So, yeah, I'm going to keep this particular episode short. I just wanted to do an introductory and give you guys an idea as to what to expect. I want to do these as often as I can. I don't want to promise and say these are going to be daily. I'm going to try to do them as much as possible. And I hope that others with TBI can hop along and we can help each other out, because it is a lonely, lonely feeling when you think that this is all in your head and people look at you and see you looking normal and they're like, this guy's full of shit. And believe me, sometimes I think sometimes I overthink it and feel like this is how people feel, but lo and behold, it really isn't. But it's just something that you unfortunately would have to go through to understand. But anyway, I am Jose Betancourt, and I'll talk to you soon.